were there. So during antenatal and prenatal phases, women hardly knew about these immunization issues, and institutionalized those delivery. Hardly women went to the hospitals for delivery. Home delivery was very common kind of thing there, which has now stopped. Actually, for it's not that just our work, with the network of these things and people talking about on the same issue for 15 years worked, and many things have improved in government. So these are the things we take. This is the method we take for advocacy. So again, this was thing we started working with. This data I don't want to go with, so because it keeps on changing from 23 organizations, it could be 25. But these are the issues we took: birth registration, immunization, early childhood education, nutrition, and maternity benefit. Because early childhood education again is considered to be a fancy kind of thing, because people believe that from primary education is fine. Why do we send our children to education center who are not 5 or not 4? So we started telling them, if the base is not strong, the dropouts rises. And then we had some study and survey. We saw that the children who did not go for early childhood education, the dropout in class grade 1, 2, and 3 was high. So this again became a serious concern for government, this early childhood education. Now there are many ECC centers run by government. And again, this one, as I said, about this Angana. So the rag pickers, this is an enterprise for rag pickers. So there were many companies, there were many social enterprises working on or working on waste management, but none of them were thinking about the rag pickers, because rag pickers are the one who are the primary stakeholders when we talk about the waste management. So just to bring them to the mainstream, we started this enterprise, Nidan Swachh Dhara Private Limited. Swachh Dhara means clean. So now through this program we started in 2008, and again it is registered under this Company Act. And here also we try to bring these rag pickers to mainstream through training and giving them decent livelihoods. So now they're organized, they're also getting decent livelihood. They're trained for many hospitality works, and so their work, as you can see the change. They're now wearing dresses, boots and everything. So the decent livelihood is promoted through this enterprise. Again, the same picture. So with the woman and her colleague working on this waste management. And this is a meeting of those rag pickers, because regular engaging, what happens with these informal workers, after a period, it's a very natural kind of thing. After a period of time, they lose interest. So it's very important to keep them engaged through various programs. So we organize training, we organize meetings, we organize small events for them, so that they keep on listening about, because raising their aspiration is also a major concern. What happens many a times, they get satisfied, this is what I'm for and this is what I'm getting. So we do never try to lose their aspiration. We keep raising their aspiration high through these meetings and events. And again, this is a water sanitation program. So sanitation is a big concern in India. Recently, there was a movie. I hope many of you know about the Bollywood movies, the Indian movies. So recently, there was a movie called Toilet, and the lady, the protagonist, divorced her husband just because there was no toilet in her um, uh, place. So the sanitation is a big issue, and this is a big issue for girl children and the many children. In the many schools, there is no toilet, and there is a natural dropouts, and if there is a natural dropout, it hampers the whole family. So we are working in many schools in Bihar on this water sanitation program, so that there's no dropout, and it has proved to be a very successful program in these 3 schools where we have started. And this is a program we have recently started for poor entrepreneurs. There are many entrepreneurs who really aspire for good, but they don't know where to go, how to start. So they start tailoring because they know they have the skill, but they don't know how to upscale their business. So we are training them on various aspects. We are helping them to create their Facebook pages, Instagram pages, to promote their business, and giving them training how they can promote their business, how they can make it big through various programs. So this program we have started recently, and it is going very well. And this is the trainer giving them training on those things. Again, the same training. And now I'll take you to this street business, because this NASWI, which evolved from the parent organization Nidan, has created a great platform for many policy workers, not just for street vendors. Many policy makers have learned from NASWI. So I'll just go through, because one of my responsibility also is to work with street food vendors and their livelihood. So I'll just run through a few slides to make you understand, even through this program, how we have worked on creating a sustainable livelihood for informal workers. So this is a festival we organize every year, which we started organizing in 2008. Yeah, 8. For the first time, we started in 8 as an advocacy event, because when we organize such seminars or some programs, hardly you get a policymaker to your board. But if you talk about the food, which we all eat, so we thought that why not think something innovative to pull all the policymakers at one platform. So we started a program calling it National Street Food Festival, in which all the street vendors selling on the carts came and prepared their food, sold their food, and we have discussions and everything. And in a couple of years, this program became so successful. He is the Minister for Employment and Skill Development. This was the last year. Because what I want to tell you, because before getting someone like a policymaker like him to listen to your voice, you need to create a platform at ground. Unless and until you create a platform, nobody comes to hear you, and nobody thinks of making a better policy. So this has been a successful story for Nidan and NASWI, that we try to do it on ground, rigorously, and then bring it to the platform where the policymakers talks about your program, praises your program, and says that we are going to replicate in other part of the countries, or even to the other part of the globe. So this National Street Food Festival in couple of years became very successful. And with that, the many women entrepreneurs, because when we talk about the women, they are invisible. And in food business, especially, they're invisible. Even if you go to India, you will not find many women on the streets. They help behind the curtain, basically. They'll help making the food from home, and their husbands will be the one who will be selling at the streets. But in NASWI and Nidan, we try to bring them to the mainstream. So there are many kind of programs we do. Recently, we took a woman to Manila. So there, as Caesar said, so we organize many festivals, and we give them national and international platforms. So this year in April, I took one woman vendor, because whenever I announce a nomination, I get nomination from male vendors. But this year I was determined to take a women to show this, because it's not that they can help from behind the curtain, they can do well even on the front stage. And that was a very successful program. So she did really well in Manila, and she was for her hard work and taste, she was praised. This is a picture of a woman leader. So she had participated in one of the street food festival with her male co-workers. She was a leader. So it was a really proud moment, a woman leading a group. Again, this is our Honorable Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, and this is the Minister for Skill Development and Employment, giving certificate to women food vendors. So we work on many platforms. As I said, even the work is not recognized. So now there is a program of government, recognition of prior learning, which means they already have skill. We need to recognize it, and we need to make it understand other people. So this, under this RPL program, we trained around 25,000 street food vendors of Delhi, Kanpur and Varanasi. This is one of the event where one women leader was given certificate by Honorable Prime Minister for her good work and for hygienic presentation. This is again a program from Delhi, where we started to organize 25,000. This was a launch when all the stakeholders or policymakers on the stage promising to work together on food safety. So this is again a photograph of one of the cities where we had given training, and I have just put my photos also because I felt so happy. After training them, I went after a couple of months, and when I saw that person wearing those, because in India this hygiene with street food vendors is really an issue. But when you train them and when you see them that they're following it, it gives you a pleasure. So when I went there after a couple of months, when I saw him in this perfect dress and perfect presentation, and he offered me a pan. So it was a really enjoyable moment for me. So I put this photograph there. So this is a video I would like to play. It's a small video which talks about the
street food will no longer remind you of unhygienic conditions, or at least that is the hope. And that's because India's food safety regulator has launched a campaign to train street food vendors and hawkers in safety and hygiene. CNBC Debate team Shweta Kothari gets you a taste of what to expect. Remember, this is the pilot project that's been kick-started in Delhi by the central food regulator, the FSSAI.
39-year-old Mohan Singh Verma has been selling his exotic biryani at this stall in East Delhi's Preet Vihar area for the last 8 years. But for the last few weeks, his stall has undergone a major change. He wears gloves and his food is cooked and served in visibly cleaner utensils. One of the first to enroll in the Clean Street Food project, Verma says that the changes at the stall have helped sales numbers shoot up.
मसालों के बारे में पता चल गया, कलर वगैरह ज्यादा यूज ना करें, हाइजीनिक तौर से बनाएं, अपने आप को भी साफ रखें और पब्लिक को भी साफ सुथरा रखें। तो सारा कुछ नाज़मी की तरफ से और वहाँ जाके इंस्टीट्यूट में हमारे को सब कुछ सीखने को मिलता है। और बाकी किस तरीके से माल और इम्प्रूवमेंट तरीके से बनाना है जिससे हमारी सेल बढ़ जाए, उन्होंने बहुत हेल्प की हमारी।
Verma is just one of the 23,000 vendors who enrolled for the 2-day training program. Day 1 deals with safety and hygiene, with vendors being made aware of microbes and health issues. Day 2 deals with assessment, and successful completion results in registration and certification.
बहुत अच्छा आगे बढ़ने के बताए हैं, कैसे साफ सफाई रखेंगे, हम आगे बढ़ेंगे, कैसे अपना काम करेंगे, आगे प्रोग्रेस और उतनी होगी।
आगे होगी, हमारे बिजनेस को आगे प्रोत्साहन मिलेगा और